the right hand they will be among thornless lote trees, and among tall banana trees with fruits piled one above another, and in the shade long extended, and by water flowing constantly, and fruit in plenty, whose supply is not cut off by change of season, nor are they out of reach, and on couches or thrones raised high. And Allah said, in them both will be fruits and date palms and pomegranates. And Allah said, in them both will be every kind of fruit in pairs. Abu reported that the Messenger of Allah said, there is no tree in paradise except that its trunk is of gold. Related it through another chain and said Hassan Shah, the roots of date palms in paradise are of green emeralds, and their branches are red gold, and their leaves are clothing for the people of paradise. Its fruits are whiter than milk and purer than honey. In another narration is a tree in paradise on a trunk, the long shade the shade long extended is a tree in paradise on a trunk. As for its distance, the diligent rider travels under its shade for 100 years, meaning all of its sides. He said, the people of paradise, the people of Al-Ghuraf, the rooms and others will come out and talk underneath its shade. He said, then some of them will desire remembering the amusement of the world, and then Allah will send a wind from paradise, and He will shake that tree with every amusement that was in the world. There is a tree in paradise under the shade of which a racing mudamir, well-equipped rider, travels for 100 years without getting across it. Reported that the Messenger of Allah said, verily, in paradise there is a tree under the shade of which the rider travels for 100 years without getting across it, and Muslim. In another narration reported that the Prophet said, verily, in paradise there is such a tree that is racing well-equipped, fast rider travels under its shade for 100 years without getting across it. And as to the saying of Allah, and in shade long extended, Anas related that the Prophet said, in paradise there is a tree underneath the shade of which the rider travels for 100 years. In another narration, Abu Huraira reported that the Prophet said, in paradise there is a tree underneath the shade of which the rider travels for 100 years. Recite, if you wish, and in shade long extended Quran. The Messenger of Allah said, the arm's length of one of you, or a whip in paradise, is better than all that the sun rises upon and sets over. And in the narration of Muslim, Abu Huraira related that the Prophet said, in paradise there is a tree underneath the shade of which the rider travels for 100 years without getting across it. Another chain, Abu Huraira reported that the Messenger of Allah said, in paradise there is a tree underneath the shade of which the rider travels for 100 years.